Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Jabari and Jabari show. No, because my brain automatically feels like it's from the ground up, and I was like, wait, no, it's not from the ground up. Anyways, I know, but I don't know what happened just now.
You have to say, welcome back to this. What was
So I'll take over the show. So welcome back to this episode of
the Jabari and Jabari show?
Yeah.
Today we have family member.
My name's Jordan. I also have a G name. We're the GGG group.
Well, I call
apparently.
you Auntie Jordan.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't know why.
I'm much older than you, I suppose. That would make sense.
I'm 21. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm older than you. That's what we're gonna keep it at.
Okay. I don't know. I was trying to figure
It's
it out.
like a common running theme where we think everyone is
Yeah.
a age group, and then everyone is like,
We're just tall.
and everyone is like,
That's all it is.
I'm
That's all
up
it
there
is.
in the
They're
numbers.
like, oh, you're 21? Yes. I'm just tall. That's all.
Oh no, I always knew that you were young. I thought you were in your teens.
That's
Yeah, genuinely. I always thought you were very young.
real.
Yeah.
And we've been talking for how long? We've been talking on and off for
A few years, right?
years, I
Mhm.
think. I just realized that. And you're from the movie.
The
Because-
movie.
You posted and they got your name wrong. So they put,
Yeah, they put
Rebecca Jordan.
Rebecca Jordan, and that was like
And I
a
was
big
like-
running joke.
I was like, so then what is her name?
So, to kick it off,
Don't you like
We
you
have a
should sit
guest
on like
today.
the same chair maybe?
we have a guest today, and our guest, I was told the extent of my knowledge of who is currently in my space of living is Jordan. I don't know how to intro you, but we have a guest today, and I know her name is Jordan. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
No.
That's just rude. How would you just
It's
supposed to?
You.
I didn't tell you?
No, you just said Jordan coming. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
What a great
You
team
know what
you
it
all
is?
make.
I will take blame.
Okay,
I'll take blame this time.
great. You have blame coming from two people here.
Yeah, that's my bad. I really thought you knew.
All
That-
the time. Oh yeah, we've been under a shoot with Jordan.
Stop getting out of our conflict on the thing, because now everybody gonna hear this, and they're gonna be like, this team is falling apart.
They
This
don't
is-
get their shit together,
This is the
man.
last episode of and this is just. it's
This is
not
what
great.
happens when you bring somebody else with a G name on it. It just
Yeah,
falls apart.
I just expect him to know, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is who is next. He's like, he didn't ask. So I
Oh,
was like, oh well.
that's nice to think that you thought I was so popular that he would just know.
I thought so.
I have seen your work.
Oh.
I have seen your work. 'Cause no, but in terms of I've seen her work and her name is Jordan. That
Yeah.
is as far as my knowledge goes.
Right.
But,
Like-
yeah. So Jabari, who do we have here today?
This is the longest introduction, or
This is,
it gets worse.
No.
Oh,
yeah, it's all downhill for me actually. the highlight of every podcast is the. No, that's okay. That's okay. The highlight of every podcast is the intro, and then it just goes
right.
all downhill here. So
Okay.
just expect it to get worse
Okay,
and everything.
love that.
Yeah. So Jordan, I know you to be a photographer.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I just see the jersey, like when you are out and about.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that company is. I literally
Right,
didn't.
I work with another company. Well, because photography doesn't pay as nice as it used to, and also I just wanted more money, so I do
Ah.
photography on the side instead, and then just work. My parents, they have a company. It's called Josa, so that's
What
why
is
I
the name?
work. Josa.
Josa.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my
what is-
name and my sister's name, Jordan and Sarah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's my sister's name and my name.
And the company.
Well,
does-
I don't really want to explain it, but basically it's a material handling solutions business, and we just provide things for people who need to move things from one place to the other, but not through vehicles, like within manufacturing mostly.
Sound like she's trying to launder some money or something like that. We just move.
Exactly. So
we
it's
just
like,
move things from
yeah,
place
we
to
just
place.
we just
and-
we
that's
see
it.
about it. We see about it.
Okay, so is it that at one point that photography was a full-time thing?
Yeah, I had my own actual like legally owned business and everything. I think maybe when I was like, I think it was about 5 years I had like an actual company and it was called Perspectives. Um, and then I just stopped that.
Why?
I had posted it a while back, kind of explaining it because a lot of people did not know why I stopped doing photography as often or like closed off my page and stuff like that. But basically, my brain broke.
What does mean?
As in, like, I had a full on mental breakdown
Ah.
and I could not function for quite a long time. Maybe I was about 25 at the time. I am going to be 28 soon. So it took me about.
She was talking like she was like 20,
Listen,
25 years older than us, and I'm like,
I could be lying.
okay, sure. You said that way too, like casual.
Then you
You
still
didn't have
never
to think
know.
about it, but it's
But
okay.
basically, that's kind of why I did it, and that's when I started to work with my parents because it would have been a stable and like very easy way to continue making money, but also be in a safe environment that you have to admit most creative fields are a little bit dog eat dog, and it's a little bit tough because everybody has their own niches and everybody is trying to get into whatever categories that they see themselves fit. And it became very saturated after a while. Everybody was a photographer, everybody was a videographer kind of vibe. And it was just getting harder for me to sort of deal with that on my own. So I legally like dissolved my company and everything, and I just went back to freelancing after maybe about a year or so of like trying to fix my brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many questions. So many questions. So then how was the build up to then having, what was the company registered as? Because you said you dissolved the company.
JLH Perspectives.
Was it
So
like
it's
just you, a sole trader? Or?
Yes, it was a limited liability company. It was JLH Perspectives. We offered. I used to work with a lot of young creatives as well within my company, so I was not the only person involved, but I would outsource. It wasn't like we had employees. It was
Why wouldn't you just do that now then? If you just be the head, manage.
because
And then just
having
get
a legal
jobs.
company is a lot more than just having the name, you know. It's like having to do tax, having to do paperwork. I had an accountant who was doing all these things to me, having to make sure like all the accounts line up. And I just prefer to get paid directly.
Okay.
And I don't have any real intention of like trying to do anything more than freelance photography at the point. I think I've established a good enough client base, and it grows even within the freelance realm.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But could you not just have the company name and register it there, and you technically just be an employee of the company and just run the money through there and pay yourself?
I can do that, but as I said, there's a lot more paperwork behind it that I just did not want to do either.
Okay.
That was the main thing. I didn't
Oh.
want to have to like uphold like all this tax and like all these other things that
I mean, don't you
required.
have to pay, even if you're a freelancer and you make X amount of money, you're forced to pay taxes, right?
Yeah, but it's not like the same. I had to literally get an accountant because I didn't want to do half the. And that's the other thing. I don't like maths. I don't like accounts. I don't like any of that thing. So I hired someone to do it for me.
Was it
And
expensive?
I don't recall, to be honest. It was so long ago for me. I just feel like it's easier this way for me than to do it because I could also just stop whenever I want.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, well, I have this company, I can stop. It's like right now, I can stop whenever I want. Like I'm closing off all my shoots at the beginning of November, and I don't need to start back ever unless I want to.
Why are you closing off?
Because I get burnt out very easily creatively, and I think it's very important for creatives to just take time off. So since I've started back shooting, I have not stopped. Every single weekend, I have at least 1 or 2 shoots, and I work from Monday to Friday. So I'm working a normal day job from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I have shoots. And then throughout the week, I need to edit them so I could be able to deliver it. And then again the next weekend, shoot again. So I'm like, let me just enjoy the end of the year. I made enough money, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you do like more personal work?
Sorry?
Because I say, why don't you do more personal work? Because I think we spoke to Scott a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, he got burnt out because he watched that, like he saw that after a while, he didn't do any personal work. It was just client work, client work, client work, and it was like, I'm giving, but I'm not really, making anything.
Well, personal
for me.
work could also burn me out. Like
Okay.
shooting on the whole could burn me out. Like so the way that I shoot, I think Scott is a little different from me. Scott does a lot more commercial work. I do more, and I've always been within the realm of fashion photography. I've never tried to like really do commercial work. I've never really tried to do like normal portraiture for like the like, you know, everyday guy kind of thing, because I don't like it.
Okay.
And that's just it. It's just, if I shoot somebody that I don't care for, not to say that, you know, not anything is wrong with them, but like if I feel like they don't fit into the idea, and the aesthetic that I would like to fulfill, I get very frustrated. So I just don't do it. So all my work that I do that I get paid for, I like it. And I will always like it. So my creative work and my client work is still my work at the end of the day. So I'll still get burnt out either way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how did you build up to that point, or where you have like shoots every week? What was the
I've
beginning?
been in this since I
When
was
did you-
18.
When did you?
So I'm 10 years in. That's why.
Okay.
I think that's what really, I have the reputation, I have the portfolio, and I have the market that knows me as a photographer, or even as like a person.
Mhm.
As I said, I've built a pretty solid, what do you call it, market for myself. I have a little client base that stays very loyal to me. Even if they use other people, it's not like they're not going to use me again. It's
Mhm.
always a very loyal client base that I have. And it has seasons as well, because like I wouldn't probably get any shoots maybe in like May, June, but then coming into August, September, October, I might be booked every weekend. And that's just kind of how it works sometimes. But when I was maybe your age even, I would be scrunting to get a shoot. To be fair
Why?
though, I wasn't actually shooting, because I didn't start off photography until maybe when I turned 21.
So then you took it serious? That's what you mean?
No, I studied fashion management. So my first title was stylist and creative director.
Okay.
And then
so now how you got
Mailing bullied me to become a photographer.
Who?
Mailing.
Okay, I know of her.
Yeah, she's one of the biggest designers in Trinidad.
I don't think he knows. He's
You don't know
so
Mailing.
lost.
Who do you know as a local designer?
I know somebody.
say it.
I know somebody.
No, you know.
I-
You know at least one.
Okay, I know one, but in the realm thing.
Yeah.
Ting!
But
Ting!
anyways, in the grand scheme of things,
Uh-huh.
I knows nobody.
Right.
I a little baby fish
Right.
in the grand scheme of things.
That's
Maybe not
fine.
Baby fish, maybe a little tadpole. Nobody knows me, and I knows nobody.
That's fine.
I just know people through him.
Right. Right.
But that's it.
I don't even know anybody.
Exactly. His extent of
Yeah.
knowledge
Mhm.
is more than my extent of knowledge. That's as far
Right.
as
So it's like a trickle down kind of scenario.
I for sure know of Mailing. I know
Mhm.
Claudia.
Worked for her as well.
CLD is her name?
Charaluch and us. Yeah.
CLD, right?
Yeah.
Her, I know the cloth.
My best friend
You
works
have
with
to know
her.
the cloth.
Yes. I think they have a very particular
I know
person
some
that they use,
younger,
but he's great.
younger ones that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What are the bigger ones? I see these stores. I just can't think of any right now. But I know a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to some fashion shows, so I know.
Well, that's
There's this guy,
Equifili.
Dominique
Oh.
LaRoche.
That's who you shot for, no?
Nah, I never shot for him, but I knew him because we spoke at a fashion show.
Okay. I think I have an idea who you're talking about.
Dominique LaRoche. I think that's his name.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I
You
don't
know a guy called Richard?
Richard what?
I don't know. I just know he's Richard. And he's really tall.
Uh-huh.
I think he always has on like a wig. But he's like direct out of fashion shows. Richard.
No, I don't know Richard.
No?
Mm-mm.
Why are you making a face? She wants to laugh?
I want coffee face. What are you talking about?
Okay. Alright, well.
No, I don't know Richard.
Oh, I thought there's another person I'm trying to think of. I work with you know Ivy? Whoa, I think she just had bad coffee. What is her
Oh.
face?
She just dropped the post.
London, Crystal Ivy London.
Yes.
Yeah, another stylist.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I know her.
She's not a designer.
Well,
She's not a designer, but she's a stylist. There was like
Don't
a group of
ever
us.
say it. It's the same thing.
It's
just-
really not the same thing.
There will be a fight broken
I
out.
just said I know her. That's all I
Yes,
said. I
but we
know
were
her.
talking about you knowing fashion designers, and then
My
you
bad.
said,
I mean, she's within the fashion realm, so you get some points there.
"Nah, that's his friend.
Oh,
That's why."
Yeah.
That's just real sad, but it's okay. It's alright. She wouldn't listen to this.
That's probably true. That's
But,
that thing.
Yeah, I know people through her because I used to shoot with her. I just would like move with her.
yeah.
So we'd be like, "Oh, Crystal. Oh, who is this? Oh, this is Jabari. He's a photographer." That's how I knew people. But
That's good though.
I met a lot of people through Carrie Festa.
Right.
Just walking around.
You all lived inside of there.
Bro, I was there every...
I don't think I've ever
See.
been.
You didn't go to Carrie Festa, the last one?
No. I
was
planned
there
to,
Every...
but I had a panic attack, so I
day.
couldn't.
I didn't even plan to be there. It was just like, oh, Crystal just seen me for one day. Okay, cool.
Week.
I was there every single day. If I was with Crystal, I was a friend. I was like, they were like, oh yeah, you can make Carrie Festa.
I
I'm like-
really didn't get to go.
And I lived Belmont at the time, so it was like,
Oh, that would have been
just,
easy.
just walk around. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Excuse.
I was
I was
like,
right there.
They're gonna say, you live in
You want to say
Florida?"
no? Living fine. You have something to do? No, you ain't doing anything. You're here. I was like, oh, okay, well. I feel like everyone knew my name, but does Levi Marcus count as one?
Yeah, why not?
You say why not? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think the term designer has evolved a lot, so it's no longer just really just designing the actual garment, but also what goes onto a garment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like graphic tees.
like
not
graphic design,
not
like
actually changing the silhouette, but what like the print on it or something might be slightly different to what you'll normally get.
so in a way, yeah, I think he would count as a designer.
Okay. Who have you worked with? I don't know. I just see you post some BTS stuff. I'm like, oh, and then I see you with I don't know her name.
Walano?
Maya.
Shemaya, yeah.
Shamaya.
Yes. She's also a photographer and videographer.
Yeah.
Really good at video. Really good at photography. Much better than I am, actually. But we're very different styles, which is why
Yeah,
we
that's
have
what I think
different.
too. I'm like,
Yeah. We have
people show me
different.
photos and I'm like, it's not my style, so I don't really know how to
Yeah.
comment on this.
Yeah.
My style is very particular and very specific to what it is. It's very hard for me to comment on who's like another person I could think of. I Douglas.
I kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Is that his name?
I don't know. It's something.
I
Yes, it's I Kenna,
I
yeah.
Douglas is the same person?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
It's two people. It's
No,
all-
I kinda. It's I kinda Douglas.
I cannot.
So I Douglas.
Dude, I've been thinking.
I thought it was a
two
group.
different people.
I thought it was a
A
group.
group. He
of
works with
toge-
other people, but he is one person.
Always thought
His
it
name
was-
is I Kenna.
I thought it was two people, but they're just like close friends.
Me too.
that-
You couldn't change my mind.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like,
He's really great though. Like
could-
he's very talented.
No, he's good. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
his thing is very.
It's a very particular style. I
Yes.
agree. Yeah.
That's why it's like you can't show me it and be like, oh, what I think of it. It's like I don't know. It's good.
I think
just,
one of the ways to try to view work like that is try to do it as objectively as you can. So not necessarily taking the style, but taking like the actual technicalities of it. So like when I see stuff that I might not necessarily vibe with, I just be like, that's a good shot. The composition is great. They did the colors really nicely. I really like that. Even though he edited her as a butterfly, you can't see where he did that. Like, you know, you can see some people edited and like, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
slapped
yeah.
a butterfly wing behind her. But like, she looked like a butterfly, you know, kind of. I don't know if he ever did a butterfly thing. I'm just using that as an explanation. But like,
visualized it for
that's
some
how I
reason.
try to like, sort of, when I see people that might not necessarily be within the style that I care for, I would be like, that's a really good image nonetheless, because there's a market for that. There are people who would want that. And it doesn't take away from the fact that they're very talented and they put out a really good product. It just doesn't appeal to to us in
Yeah.
a way, because it appeals to a different market.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. I think same thing with like you could do that with any art really, like music and actual like physical, art and stuff like that.
Yeah. She's looking at her phone.
Sorry, yeah, it's a
think it's,
musician very randomly calling me. I was having a conversation.
Is it important?
No, I was having a conversation with him about an artist that I didn't know anybody else knew, really, and now he's calling me. That's very weird.
You know this person?
Hey.
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 Yay.
I don't know if he messaged me. I took off on my Instagram notification, so I don't see when people message me. I only see when I go into the app itself. So he
no,
may
I
have
know
been
what it
asking me
is.
something, and
I took off likes and comments though. That is pressure.
I just took off everything. I don't think it's important enough for me.
Nah, because I get some messages on Instagram about shoots. So
Yeah, I'm just
leave
like, I'll
on-
get to you and I get to you is my
I
thing.
leave on DMs, but I likes and stuff. I took
Yeah.
that off. I was like, yeah, really.
Friend actually asked me about that.
Who's my friend?
Your friend.
Who's my...
Anyways,
Ask-
yeah, they were like, why your comments for your status or so if you want story status, I don't know which one. I just get confused. Anyways, they were like, how come your comments are for your stories? I was gonna comment. I was like,
My stories?
no, my story.
Oh,
Your friend is gonna comment because I reposted their work.
okay.
And they were like, I was gonna comment, but you have it off. I was like, oh really? I didn't know I had it off, but I was like, I didn't know that, but
You know what he's talking about?
The actual respond, like,
The story replies.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't know it was off.
That's not like a big deal though. I don't know.
No, but I just saying that.
Well, that'd be kind of annoying sometimes though. Do you like messages? This is like a real off topic. We'll get back into photography and everything, but this is...
What do you mean if I like messages?
Do you like messages? Like, no. When you're messaging someone on Instagram, right? Do
Right.
you like a message?
Oh yeah, that's how I end the conversation usually.
Oh yeah.
I just like
You
it.
did
Okay,
that with me?
bye. Yeah. I do that with you all the time. You would say something and I'd be like, okay, cool. And then you say something again, I like it and then go my way.
Oh no, please don't do that.
I also like messages to say like I'm responding to something. So like if you say something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like it.
Oh, I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, because it just adds a notification to my phone. And then I have to
Again,
open up,
I don't get notifications
I have to
down.
open my phone to then take out this notification.
Yeah, I
and
don't.
I'm like,
Doesn't
in
bother
my
me.
head, yes, I know the conversation is over.
Mm-hmm.
You're just giving me more work to just let me know that
Take
this
off your
conversation
notification.
is over. Just end it there. Damien is the worst. I could send this boy 5 funny messages. He will like all 5. And I'll be like, yes, Damien.
You
I
put the
know,
laughing face.
I know it's funny. I wrote it. You don't have to tell me that. Just be like, haha. That's enough. Or you could just not respond. I could
But
be
I
like,
also
oh,
use like iMessage a
probably
lot, so
died
it's
of
like a
laughter.
normal way for me to like interact. Like it's a normal way for me to communicate because iMessages also have the option to react.
yeah.
So I'm always accustomed to reacting to a message.
Wow.
Yeah.
How,
So-
how were you bullied into photography? This is like a real weird transition.
So working with Mailing, I probably started working with Mailing maybe I was like 19, 20, around that age. And there was a point when I was like, Mailing, I really want to give you this kind of photo, but like the photographer I'm working with, he's brilliant, but he's not getting the look that I want to get because you would probably know him, Josh Brazan, also known as JB Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. His work is brilliant, and
If you
it
hear
makes it
any
look like
background noise, just know that
you don't. If you hear it, you
you
don't.
don't. You didn't hear
Yeah,
it.
you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
He makes everything look like absolutely magical, and it's great and everything. But I wanted at some point a really stripped back sort of shoot, and I think like the communication between what I wanted and his usual style and everything just wasn't working out. And Mailing was like, "Well, do it yourself." And I was like, "Maybe do it yourself." He's like, "Buy a camera and try it for yourself."
She
And I
makes
was
it
like,
sound so simple. Buy a couple $1,000 camera.
You could just throw that 4,000 or 5,000.
well, at the time I was working, so it was okay. It wasn't like I had already put aside money to do something
5K
else.
who?
And
5K where?
5K who?
so it wasn't that big of a, like, I mean, obviously it was a big deal because I would have been jumping into a whole new field of work.
Yeah.
But it also wasn't, I guess, financially at the time, like a big taxing thing for me. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy a cheap one and I'll try it out. And I bought like one of those Rebels. And then I also bought a 50mm at the same time.
Don't say anything. Don't laugh.
And
Just
I
let her
bought
continue.
a 50mm at the same time, and I came
You said
back.
a what? A cheap Rebel, right? Just saying.
Oh,
50.
I still use it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going
Because I think
when you
like
said it, it was like
It's- no,
I
no.
bought a cheap Rebel, but then I
That's-
upgraded like 6 months later to like
no.
I was like,
Well, that's what I started off with, and I was like, right. No, genuinely, I was like, oh yeah, and then eventually I'll upgrade.
yeah, everybody's
And then
pockets
I
is different.
never did. I
I
literally
didn't
haven't
need to.
yet.
I don't need to. I don't. It does the job.
Someone was asking me, it was like, they didn't ask. They told me, they was like, no, a more expensive camera makes you a better photo. I was like, hold up, wait, mash breaks.
I mean,
I was just like, wait, mash breaks. If I give the best quality food to an infantile cook and tell them to make me the best meal you can possibly make, I can still probably just get spaghetti and cheese as compared to handling the cheapest
that's a
ingredients.
weird combination.
Spaghetti and cheese?
Yeah. Because like
Anyways,
cheese is really stringy. No, but I understand as well. Yeah, you're correct. Like it's you use what the tools that you have with the skills that you have.
Yeah.
I told them I would instantly spring for a more expensive lens than a more expensive body any day. Well, me personally, I would spring for a more expensive lens than a more expensive body.
Oh yeah, I was doing a photography class, and he was like, entry level cameras. I don't think you should get less than like a T7 is a thing. And I was like, I now play my card in attack mode.
No, it's true.
And I was like, sir, no. That's
I think
not
a lot of
what you
people
should tell
they've
people.
always asked me, it's like, what do you use? Oh my god, what's your setup? What lights do you use? I was like, I literally do not know how to use lights. Scotty Todd. Scotty.
What camera do you use, by the way?
Same level?
Same
Yeah.
T6?
I don't
Does it
know.
flip?
I
Does it-
couldn't tell you the name of it.
Does it flip?
The screen doesn't flip.
It doesn't flip? Okay.
Yeah. It's
No,
whatever
just
I
want-
bought
just-
back then.
I just kind of want to flip one now. Just for, like, some angles, but,
yeah, no,
yeah.
it's just easier that way.
Yeah,
I
but
understand, yeah.
I could live without it.
No, and Scott is the first person to ever really teach me light.
Okay.
And I hate it, but you know, I'm
I
learning.
learned light on YouTube. And then I borrowed one.
Studio light was just never my thing. I was always like, people would be like, oh my god, how did you get it to do that? And I was like, the sun? I don't know. The sun did it, and then I
it was
captured
really never
it.
my thing either, but then I was like, oh, see when rainy season come and I can't be
Yeah.
outside. I was like, might as well just get it, yes, because,
Right. I just rent Scott's studio and ask Scott to do it for me.
yeah, sorry, I don't have that any budget.
Well, you see, you put it
no.
in the budget of your client.
Yeah, sorry, my clients don't have that kind of budget.
Oh, right. Okay.
But,
Understand.
I was like, yeah, I'll just buy my own stuff and then eventually I'll build to
Mhm.
something and I could just be like, yeah, studio rentals is this.
Mhm.
Money's coming to me, but studio needs to be paid for.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean that's just how it is. That's how it has to be. But that's interesting. I thought you would know something about like. So he just sets it up for you. You just tell him like, do this.
Yeah, I'd be like, Scott, this is the inspo. You could pull it up. You've been to his studio, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So you see the screen that he has. I'll tell him to pull it up on the screen and be like, Scott, I kind of want to do this kind of light. And then Scott runs around moving these big lights. And then he's like, does that work? And I'll be like, yeah, thanks, Scott. He shoots.
Oh,
That's it. I'd be like, Scott, I'm trying to do like this. And he'd be like, all right, I fix it up. And then he just does it for me because I still don't fully understand. And I still struggle a lot, even in like editing, to try to figure
yeah.
out
We spoke about that like a long time
artificial light.
ago.
I hate it.
Actually,
It's like
some
I'm
photos
getting
said it
better, I suppose. Like it's fine,
on
but I really
my-
do prefer natural light.
Same, but I had like a whole. What do you call that? Like when you change around your life,
Epiphany.
a different word for it. I had like a whole. I don't know what to say it. Have you seen my pictures recently
Yes, I think so.
with him? Did you see
You did
him
photos
with
of
money?
him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I think he's gonna.
I find a lot of photographers are doing like photography with meals, which I'm very happy for, like meals as a model, and
yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
that
But
because
I
everybody
just-
was using gal before, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
but I don't even use girls in like a kind of way. I use them in like a.
well, I don't use girls in any kind of way either, but I've only really shot women, and only recently I have a lot more male clients.
No, by the time I saw photographers with girls anytime, but all the time it was like swimsuit and
That's why this girl likes
more carnival type of stuff, and I was like, I don't. It's a good picture, but I don't really feel like this is me. So that's why I end up
It's
just
a
like.
good joke,
I
but
like,
you gotta stop.
I like clothes, and I'm like now getting into doing more with clothes and not just portraits and stuff like that. So that's why I just had. What are you doing? Oh,
It's very nice. Oh, that looks so good.
yeah, I had a
That's
whole
you?
like life-changing moment.
man on one these days.
That's
Oh.
really good.
I opened up Photoshop.
Yeah,
I've been doing a daily design, and I was scared of Photoshop.
right.
Like,
Everybody's scared of Photoshop.
yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was just like, from the time you start with layers, you know what caught me? I tried to follow a tutorial, and the guy was like, press X, press this, and I was like, okay, press X,
I
press
actually
this,
had
press
to
this.
learn.
I clicked it, and I was like, this does not look like what you did. Where did I go wrong? I watched the video like 5 times, and I was like, press X, press. I was like,
I actually had a whole class for
I'm
like
not
an
following.
entire semester for Photoshop. So I was afraid the entire semester. Like I had an entire Photoshop and then Illustrator,
Anytime.
and I hated it so much. I did well, but I hated it. I just hated it. I really did not like
I
it.
edit like strictly in Photoshop now, and it does.
Yeah.
My life has been changed.
He's shown me the light.
I
No, I get
have
it.
seen it.
Yeah.
You've ever seen the promised one and you just can't go back.
That's how I feel when I edit on a Mac versus a Windows.
And this is what I tell you. We had a whole discussion before.
Oh yeah, we had a pre-podcast that we did not record
But
while we wait for you.
let's just say your girl totally against one Android and 2 Windows. Like
I'm not
totally.
against it. I understand the
Okay.
purpose of them.
No, I understand the
cheapness of a window versus an Apple?
Right? No, the availability. Yeah, I understand that. I have recently invested in a new Apple machine. I actually got the iMac, not just like so because I
She
wanted
went
to go
out.
into it.
She went
Yeah,
outside.
the new one, the
Outside.
M1 chip one. So hopefully when my shoots next year start coming out, it looks.
so good.
Your eyes, she didn't.
The
see
only problem is though, you have to make sure and cross-reference because it's so bright on an iMac because the quality is so good, but
Yeah,
your
they say
phone
go
is
like
shit.
half.
So you have to make sure and cross-reference and send it to your phone and
Oh, no,
see that the
I-
colors are reflected because they
Con-
don't all the time.
Contrary to popular belief, I edit on my phone. Keep sipping. You keep sipping that
I told her that she I was telling her
Keep
about
sipping that
Everything?
Keep sipping it.
No,
and then let me know when
everything.
you're ready.
Everything.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
Well, let me tell you what it is.
Right.
Let me break it down for you. Right?
Uh-huh.
I have this app that turns my phone into a second screen.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors on my computer are like trash. It's like gone.
Do you have a
like-
Windows?
It's out the wazoo. Let's
I
not talk
understand.
about
No,
that.
I understand. I'm using a Windows in the interim.
Yeah, for
And
sure. It's
I-
a Windows computer.
Fucking hate it.
But so I downloaded this app called Duet, and I just hook it up. And if you see me, this is me. And I'm
Okay,
like,
but I guess
I'm like using my
yeah.
mouse pad on my computer. I'm like trying to just be like, okay, the colors looking. So what I would do now is I would just have the image on the phone, like
Right.
the Photoshop layer tab thingy.
You should get an iPad. Get an iPad mini, even.
I was gonna buy it, but I'm like, okay, what if I just save and just buy a computer?
You could do that as well. That might be better.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm buying,
but
I'm
do you
buying
think-
all the accessories.
Do
but
you
what if I
think
just
that you have enough like time in the sense that like if it is that you try to save up for the computer, would it take you 2 years versus if you buy the iPad in 6 months? And would it be more beneficial to get the iPad in 6 months so you could get more money, to be able to buy the computer in a year rather than 2 years?
Eat there, boy.
So it's really
But the way how the job's flowing right now,
how are your jobs right now actually?
don't.
Are you not getting?
Chest pain.
Oh no.
Chest pain. Chest pain.
After the podcast, I'll show you someone that you could probably shoot for.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm in a
'Cause
pharmacy.
Let
me tell you, right?
Spoken
I
to like
work-
all my photography friends and they've been doing pretty well.
Oh,
So
must be nice.
I that's why I asked you how it was going.
I'm working in a pharmacy. I think
I work in a whole engineering company. Don't
yeah,
take
yeah,
it
but that
out.
was because you have the way how your life is set up.
She has the pyramid.
You
She has the
create pyramids.
My privilege
Yeah,
is quite strong. I understand. It's fine.
The pyramid.
The
No.
pyramid.
He said pyramid, not
Have a-
privilege.
Have a pyramid.
I still do understand my privilege though. Working for your parents' company always comes off as like, you have a scapegoat. And I understand
Oh
that.
no, for sure. Once my dad things hopefully kicks off, I dip in. I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, big dog.
You're
Let
gonna,
me know.
You'll
what's
get the
going on.
shoots every weekend as soon as you start, don't worry.
Huh?
You're gonna be kind of.
That'll be funny though. Like if he asked me to like work for him, and I'm like, yeah, and then it's just like shoot after shoot. I'll be
That's
like,
okay though.
oh yeah, was
You'll
it
be
this
fine.
now?
You'll be fine.
I know.
You'll be fine. Put everything for Sundays and Saturdays. You'll be fine. You'll just make more money.
True, but we'll see how it goes. I've been reaching out for like graphic stuff and photography stuff and
Your graphics are really great though. Sorry, that was a really weird way to say that. I was drinking coffee for anybody who's listening. Your graphics are really great though. I really like them. I kind of want to print some and put them in my room. If you're selling
Yeah.
prints, you let me know.
people ask, and I'm like, yeah, they're there if you want that. I should do like a print story
Mm-hmm.
available for print.
Mm-hmm. What would be an average price and sizing for them? Yes, this is
Oh,
me
no.
plugging your stuff.
No, I'll figure it out and I'll post it. I
Okay.
have to think on it more. But you're like the fifth person to ask me like, oh, are you selling prints? I'm like, yeah, if you want one. But now it's like to make it official. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is happening,
Mhm.
and I'll do that for sure. Because people ask, and some people just want them on a jersey too.
Yeah. I'm not a
yeah.
big graphics person on t-shirts.
On t-shirts.
But it's not because like there's anything wrong with it. It's just it doesn't fit my style.
I like that kind of stuff.
But
You
yeah,
could see
they
my
are
pants,
cool.
They would.
But I'm a very like collect art, stick it on my wall person.
Oh, there's this lady that has like a garage sale, like on the avenue. She has like a bunch of art just selling. I don't know. I just saw a garage sale thing and I was like, ooh, interesting, cheap stuff. And then she just had like real art, and I was like, ooh, can't afford that.
That's cool.
Don't know where I'm gonna put it. No, thank you.
No, I see art all the time, and I was just like, can somebody buy this for me? This is
Oh.
expensive. I recently actually bought a hardcover copy of a book from one of my favorite photographers, Jake Wagner.
I want to make a book too. I know Jake Wagner. Is that the guy with the lights?
Yeah.
With the light trails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently bought his book because his book was on
I'm
sale.
knowledgeable. Okay.
Yeah.
He's looking it up.
I
This
recently
setup is
bought
like-
his book because it was on sale,
This
and
setup
he's
is new. We've never had anybody here. So he's like actually looking things up when...
that's cool though.
Yeah, this is new.
That's
So, like,
usually
if you-
how podcasts work.
If you don't know something, you just like look it up.
Yeah.
It's working out for sure.
No, but I really like his stuff. I befriended him recently as well, so that was really cool
Who do
for
you get
me.
inspiration from? I'm guessing other than him now. Because you bought a book from
I
him.
mean, to be fair, I don't know if I would say his inspiration, because I don't know how the heck to do what he does. Like, he's great, and he uses film mostly, and everything is
Let
straight
me-
from the camera to
Oh,
what we
let
see.
me see it again. I could probably like Jake Wagner.
Jake Wagner.
Yeah.
Jake.
like
Jake.
Jake from State Farm. And then
Wagner.
Wagner, like your wagon a dog's tail.
And Ner.
And Nerd, like, I don't know, babe.
Hold on. My G, I don't know. Let's see how we're gonna
He's
do
not like
this.
verified. I
Let's
thought he was
carry.
verified.
Let's carry on the conversation while he looks.
Oh.
I mean, inspiration for my photography.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's just kind of hit your head on.
What fashion people do you work with?
Right now it is my usual
You said
people.
a lot of your clients are fashion related, right?
Yeah, so right now it's usually
guessing
mailing,
mailing.
Willow and Oak. I can't think of anybody else right off the top of my head because I stopped shooting as often.
We said you have like a shoot like every week.
Sorry?
You said you have like a shoot every week, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily always become. No, it's a WANG. Yeah.
I was not gonna ask if your Instagram was doing anything, cause some profilers I can't see.
Mhm.
I just literally, they didn't block me or anything.
Oh, wow.
Right. I was gonna tell you what I think he does is that oh my goodness. No.
No, that's not Photoshop. That's film. That's
No.
pure film there.
Long exposure.
That is long exposure as well.
So
But
he
it's
will
also
just, like, do it,
acid wash as well.
And then like if there's like a you know those lights that your grandparents would have? It's like in strings
Yeah.
and there's lights at the end. So you could do that, fan it out on the person's face, long exposure, and just like wipe it across their face as the image is being taken. I'll do one and it'll just be like here. Inspo by
but
Jordan.
everything that he does there,
Now I need
it's
to go
just
and see my
straight
granny to
film
get one.
from the camera straight
I'm
to.
still trying to figure out how people do film and make it digital. And
Oh, you scan it?
You scan, yeah.
Yeah. You have there's like film scanners.
Sorry, that's me.
You put it in like a long strip of thing and you just scan it with like a printer. And then you go into
Who have I been shooting for real, boy? Why have I been
Because-
shooting every week?
I don't know.
because films come out in
do I be
negatives, I
shooting?
think. When you go into Lightroom or something, you just like do the
Edit it like normal.
no, you do the thingy.
The thingy!
Like if you were to take a picture and make it a negative,
Uh-huh.
you just do the opposite. There's videos on it. It's like real simple. I was like watching photography videos every day
I think he
at
has
one
videos
point.
as well on his stuff.
Before I like officially got started, I was real deep in it because I was like, I want to make sure when I get into this thing, I'm doing it good because I'm seeing things and I ain't really liking it now.
Oh, I was
You
wondering why I
understand
had
what
so
I
many
say, Auntie
messages.
Jordan?
Sorry, I posted a
said,
funny story and now everybody's
I
replying.
said before I got into photography, I was looking up photographers and just how to learn,
Right.
and I was seeing things that I wasn't liking. If you get what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
by photographers,
Mm-hmm.
you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah.
I feel like I got left out there, but sure.
No, it's like a very
It's a very prominent thing within our local photography industry.
so there's a food chain.
Think about it.
Okay.
It's like not hard to.
Okay.
He's like so lost.
It's okay. It's okay. I guess that, wait, actually I do just remember like one of my main inspirations photography wise was Adam Powell. He was the official photographer for the 1975, which is also my favorite band. And
Yes, I know of them because of you.
you're welcome.
I listened to like
And
one song. To
They
be
were
honest.
the band is very geared towards a full experience, whether it be visual, sonically kind of stuff, and they took very seriously to making sure that their visuals and their live performances were like very aesthetically pleasing and within a theme every time they did an album or whatever. And this photographer had done this one photo that was like rampant on Tumblr at the time, and I just thought it was so cool, and I wanted to like be able to shoot like that because it wasn't over edited, it wasn't like super posed or anything. It looked natural, but it looked really clean and good, and I was like, I would like to do that, and I think I kind of do it.
Okay.
And I
need to see the
befriended him
photo.
as well.
I would need to. You just message people on Instagram.
Yeah, I would like post them and tag them and be like, you know, like be like, this is my inspiration. Yeah, inspired by. Actually, there's another one. He's an official photographer for Big Sean, and that's how I started to talk to him. CM Visuals, I think is his name.
Yeah. I know
So
who that is.
I befriended all of them, and I would just talk to them about things, and they would like give me tips and stuff. So I don't know. It's very weird to like.
I like this
when
girl
they
style. Her name is
respond-
Rolex. You know
Rolex.
Bryson Tiller?
Yes.
His photographer.
Right.
I love her work. Oh my goodness. Every time she posts, I'm just like, nice.
Yes.
Today's going to be
At
a
one point in
good
time,
day.
This man unfollowed everyone, and she was still there. You were following like 15 people, and it was like, these are the must-haves. And it was like, Lil Yachty, Rolex, and a few others. I don't know.
I feel like I've seen her work.
No, you. If you have seen any Bryson Tiller picture, it's probably
Yeah.
her.
Okay, cool.
I think that's like his go-to girl.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
um,
but those were, I guess, like the three people.
When did you know that you could go full time?
When did I know I could go full time?
Yeah.
Well,
you said you were full time at the time, right?
yeah. Well, I was doing styling and creative direction as well, so it wasn't just like on photography. So sometimes I would outsource photographers and stuff like that. So I would just be doing the styling or be doing the directing, and somebody else will be shooting, and sometimes they'll just hire me for styling and stuff like that. So the same thing like the movie. That movie was a month long, but I got hired because I was a stylist. So I was on set as a stylist and part of the wardrobe crew.
How does that work though? Do you go home and then come back to like a location, or is there like one set location where everybody stays? And
We moved around the country a lot for that movie.
was it local?
Yes.
I can't remember. I just saw you in a theater and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I followed you specifically because you said that they messed up your name. I was like,
Oh yeah, they
she's
messed up
funny.
my name so bad. And I literally said it when the credits were rolling. I was
Yeah.
like, that's not my name. And everybody's like, ha 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 ha. I was like, it's not funny. But
Hey,
This is a
serious
big
thing.
opportunity.
that's not my name. And he carried it to film festival. So people saw the credits with the wrong name.
It's like,
To be fair, I
Rebecca
wasn't the head of
Jordan.
wardrobe. I was like second in command for wardrobe department. So I was like, well, it's fine. It's not like, it's not like they're going to hire me to be in charge of wardrobe. They'll hire me to be second in command. Yeah, so that's fine. But I was just like, why did they put my name so wrong? Maybe they did not spell my last
But
name.
would they even find you if they search your name as Rebecca Jordan?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
No, it's not my name.
it's kind of like you just didn't exist and you just collected some money and that was it, right?
Yeah. Like somebody did some work, didn't get credit.
Okay. It's Jordan.
You got that part right.
LHR.
LHR is my, yeah.
Yeah. And then her other photography is LHR.
GLH.
JL. Listen, I'm a professional. I do research, okay? It's JLHR.
No, dot
Jay,
perspective.
listen.
It's in my bio.
It's there. Like, I know. Right? That's all that matters. What would you say is like the most fun, I guess, you've had like on a shoot? Or when did you know that you're like, oh yes, I want to do this photography?
Mailing.
Mailing, but you were bullied at that point, right?
Yeah, but like Mailing is like a very like caring bully. Like it's not like
She could
she's
see
like,
into the future.
yeah,
Okay.
like she's a very like intuitive sort of person, and she's very inspirational in her own ways. So when she talks to you, she's like, I know you could do it. Why don't you just do it? It's like I say bully, but obviously she wasn't like she was like Jordan, do the thing. She was just like, if you want to do that, I think you should go for it, and like you should try it for yourself. And I was like, okay, I guess I will. Thanks, mom.
I don't know how she looks.
You could look it up, Mailing.
We have you on like computer duty today. And it's just
Mailing,
Jordan and I
MEILING.
talking.
And it should just be ink.
I see her mask a lot.
Yeah, everybody wears them.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's good. Oh, she doesn't
Promotion?
really post her full face. Sometimes she would look. That's my photo of her down there, the black and white.
This one?
No, down. One down. Yeah, that's her.
right. That is how she looks.
That is the ever
She
amazing.
looks like yeah, for sure. I give you that.
Yeah, she does.
You all didn't hear that.
Y'all didn't hear that? Nothing. Did nothing pass in your
Oh, you
ear just
didn't hear
now.
it?
Because you're talking.
Oh, well then y'all definitely.
You definitely didn't
that.
hear it.
Okay.
I didn't. But
So there was no other point where you were like,
Oh, this is great. Well, actually, there was one shoot that was like my yes like moment.
Was it like a big client?
No, I mean,
it's just a fun shoot.
okay, no. It was a collaboration among a lot of local designers at the time, and I think we called it a fashion mashup, where it was maybe like 6 or 9 local designers, and I did a full kind of editorial with all of them, and it was styled by Shandal, who is also the owner of Willow and Oak, which is another local brand, and Nicholas, which was one of Mailing's other sort of kids like me who she took under her wing kind of vibe. And we shot with the artist Bianca Peak. Don't know if you know her work.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Just assume.
How do you not know her? Anyway,
Man,
if you know Levi Marcus, how you don't know Bianca?
I don't know.
She was one of the models from his last campaign.
Yeah.
She's the white girl with the soft hair. Is that the soft hair? The curly hair? The soft hair. I mean, I guess it's soft too. I've touched it. But like,
God.
the, what am I trying to do?
You can search.
Oh, I'm just going to try and get my own page. Because I could just go through it. And
Yeah.
basically, Shandal styled it. And that was one of the easier shoots for me to do because I had a stylist on set. Because before her, I would, yeah, he could keep going down.
Okay.
It's way down. Yeah.
Oh, it's way
She. I used to have to do everything.
Her, right?
Yes, that's what I'm
With the nice
saying.
eyes.
Yeah, the nice eyes.
Nice eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a shot keep going down that I got from that shoot, and I was like,
So she
oh,
said that, and I was like, wait,
Is that what you
where?
sent me to edit?
sorry,
Is that what you had sent me the time to edit?
I have no idea. I may have.
With a red wall? Some loops?
No. Stop. Go up a little bit. A little bit again. A little bit again. A little bit again. That one. That white one.
This one?
That's when I knew I liked photography. That shot.
Delish.
I've seen that before.
That's it.
Man.
Yeah. And that there's like a whole bunch of drawings of it because like a lot of local artists, like I don't know what about the image as well got to them, and like there were just a lot of people who tried to also replicate it, and just not in a bad way, but like in the sense that, and I was like, you should see the original shot. It's bad composition, it's slanted, the color was so bad, and I was just like, I really just like how our eyes look. And I wanted to,
Needs to be saved.
yeah, it needs to be saved. And I got that out of it, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm not so bad at this photography thing. And then I did another shoot with her for Willow and Oak, and I was like, all right, maybe I'm okay with this. And I still credit her to this day, Bianca, so like for being the reason that I knew I could shoot anything, Bianca and Chandel, because they were the ones that kind of like helped me through my first set of shoots that looked good and I was happy with.
I don't know
So
what
that's
that point
kind of
was
what I
for me.
knew.
I don't think I've gotten that.
Oh,
I'm
pain.
just joking. I got that like early. That shoot with Alex.
Alex.
Yeah, that I think it might be like the first image on my page. Alexandra Stewart. She writes poems. She's really good.
Poems.
Yeah.
We love
Oh,
poems.
I don't know if you were looking it up to show her.
We love poems.
Yeah. That's probably when I was like, oh yeah, this thing is.
It's for you. That one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I took that and I was like,
That's well
you know, I
nice.
could actually,
I could do this.
I could do
I
a
could,
little
but all
thing.
like you see how yours is like this very like saturated and like has a lot of color, and I popped it.
Yeah, that was actual petal in front of the camera.
My
There was
my
that
first shoot was like very plain. It was very stripped back, and that's when I found my style.
Oh.
Because I was like, oh, I can't do this colors vibes. It's
Nah,
more of like this kind of stripped back,
I like
sort of
colours
like
for sure.
raw emotion kind of thing is what I really try to capture. It doesn't always happen, but you know.
Same. I try to, but I just.
Sometimes
like
I just
editing
get
and I
pretty
like-
images.
I
That's
like
it.
colors. Do people like come to you and be like, oh, I like how you did this, and I feel this, and you're just like, I just thought the picture looked cool, and that's
No,
why I
but
posted
sometimes
it.
like in the
'Cause I
beginning,
post-
especially.
I post some
I got
pictures,
that. Mhm.
and people are like, oh, I love the emotion, I love the passion. I'm like,
Weird.
I just
I
thought it
would
looked
just
cool,
be like, thank you.
and I posted, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, but it
I
was
think
just
that was a
cool
lot of
picture.
my work in the beginning, and then I started to just, well, a lot more fashion has moved towards catalog photography and less editorial photography. So it's
Yeah,
less
I like-
storytelling, more catalog vibe. And I think
Which
that's,
means I just like stand up and
yeah, or
stand
like
and
you could
pose?
do a cool pose or whatever, but it's more to kind of the clothing more than the actual subject, which is fine as well. I could
yeah,
still
you
do
try
it,
to
but
clothes.
yeah, I still would do sometimes the more like emotional stuff, but I don't know. It takes a lot of energy to also put out emotion into your work, so
Okay.
that's another thing.
So yeah.
Warm it up.
So coming to that, what is the creative process for you when it comes to, if you want to say, drafting up an idea?
5 meltdowns.
Jeez.
No, I hire somebody to do my mood boards.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I have a one of my friends. She is currently a student of ESMOD in Paris. She is studying fashion design.
Is that
Cyan Lee.
yes.
Yes.
I know.
I would hire her and I would say,
I do not
hey,
know
this
what
is the client.
Don't worry, I'm hip with the kids.
I was like,
I'm
hey,
clearly behind. I'm clearly behind. I'm trying to catch up though. This is
an
a
educational
class. This is a
episode.
class. This
yeah,
is a
yeah,
class for me. But
I
yeah.
would send her the clients. I'd be like, hey, this is their profile. This is the kind of vibe we're going for. You could choose the color palette. You could put together whatever and put together stuff. I pay her, and then I send it to the clients, and they say, "Oh, I love it," and then I do it.
Nice.
So, but before, I would have been the person doing the mood boards. But I think, as I said, a lot of my work is work that I like to do. There's nothing with my clients that I would say I don't vibe with, or like if I see that I can't give the client what I think they want, I'll pass them on to another photographer that I think would be best suited for them. I'm not somebody who
You just spoke music to my ears.
I'm not somebody who takes jobs just because it pays me. I would like to
Oh my goodness.
I would like to do that. So if I vibe with them, I could very easily be able to put together a mood board and be like, hey, these are the colors, these are the ideas that I have. Let me know if you like them, and then we'll execute it. So I never had much of a meltdown. But if I see that the client is like, if I see a client don't like what I'll be like, that's fine. So very recently, actually, I had a client who wanted to do a mental health photo shoot. And I had a concept of my own, and I sent it to her, and she was like, this is really great, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. And I said, but she came to me because she was like, I feel like you could capture what I want in a certain way. And I said, okay, but the style of photography that you're asking for is not something that I'm capable of or willing to put into this. Like, I'm not going to put aside my own happiness while editing to try and edit this kind of image for you. Because what she wanted was like juxtaposition, and then like a lot of like versions of herself inside one image. And I'm like, no, bye. Which is fine. I just don't want to do it because it's very difficult.
Okay, yeah. Don't
Like
worry.
versions of herself within
No,
one.
I got it. I
Yeah.
just thought of an image that I saw recently with Damien. Where it was multiple Damiens in one image. Don't worry. I'm on the same page.
Yeah, so, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. I can understand what you want. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to deliver the best product in this field, but I could recommend you to somebody who can. And I did, and she was very happy with the result. And I still got paid for being the director of the entire shoot, you know? So it works out in whatever way that you can help it work out.
Nice. Very nice. Do you think we should move on to that one question that we always have to ask?
Oh, well, I don't know
How are you in terms of speaking of monies?
financial.
I guess it's fine.
So.
I'm going to talk about the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just always interested in just how people structure pricing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just interesting.
So, when you started
Let me
off.
tell you, I know. I talked.
No, just fighting
Your
for this
belly.
mic, boy.
No, we pass on the mic a lot actually, but we're normally like
A space where it's like easier.
yeah, just like
It's
yeah.
like-
But someone had messaged me because I have a clothing page, and they were asking me about being a photographer, and I was like, I don't really need one.
I'm one.
I feel like I can handle myself,
Yeah.
and they sent me I think it was like $400 or $500, right, for 50 to 100 images, and I nearly, let me tell you, my great grandfather nearly turned in his grave, because I was like, what?
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
I was like,
Are you making money?
I'm like, after you leave the shoot, from the time you sit down to export, that money is like gone.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay. And I was like,
They have their market though.
no, I told them, I was like, yeah, your price is okay. Your price is decent. But I was like, you could cut that by so many images. It's not even funny. I was very straight up. I was like, yeah, what? Most of the time, they're not going to need that many images.
No.
You might send them
Nobody's gonna. Where are you going to use 50 images of the
50
same
to
thing?
100 images. I was like, for the most, you might use like 10 or the best ones, if so much.
If so much.
If so much, then
If you give 50
just to get
images,
like one carousel, it's like do a little
if you
swipe
give
through.
50 images and you say you do 10 products, then you
I
get
really
5
posted-
images per product. But if you
Yeah.
do 50 images of one product, what is it? You know you're gonna do that?
It was like portraits. I think it was like portraits or something like that. And I was like, no, I don't think
What the?
I don't think that's the play.
Restructure your life.
Yeah.
Your
that
business
was-
life, not like your whole life. I mean, you know.
That was a lot. I was like,
You start
don't.
making the right decisions.
Yeah, that's
Don't
not.
think
That's not it.
And I didn't know if to be like, I didn't want to come across like, or he feel like he know too much or anything. So I had to like carefully think about my message and be like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think coming from a photographer, I don't think is the best thing, especially for the market too. Because now,
Mm-hmm.
everybody could run to you, but now you're going to have real jobs. The
That
real
not
photos to
really,
edit,
yeah, that not
and
really
you're
gonna
be
pay off.
real stressed.
Yeah.
I was like, I know a lot of people who get paid a lot more
Mm-hmm.
for a lot less. I think you should rework your pricing.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, sure, I'll get back to the drawing board. I didn't tell her exactly what,
To do, yeah.
to
But you
do,
just
'cause
gave
I
some
don't really know
very
how-
vague advice to help, yeah.
but I made it very clear that
That's not it, sis.
that is not it.
Boss. Try again. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
focusing it back. Focusing it back to you
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning.
In the minging. In the minging.
Yeah. How did you strategize pricing, or what were your thought processes when it came to pricing in the beginning?
Well, obviously my parents are business people, so I already had like a breakdown of what I've done. So it would have been time. Well, firstly, remember I wasn't doing photography, yeah? So it was styling. So styling was $750 for 2 hours. Any part thereafter is $500. If you keep me on set for any part thereafter, you have to pay me $500 extra.
I think
So-
I was scratching my foot.
So that's where styling was. So I would have recommend that you do makeup and hair before I reach there, or you have me reach there maybe 15, 20 minutes just to make sure that the final touches were along the lines of what we agreed on, kind of thing. And then when I moved into photography, I basically did the same thing where it was $750 and then $250 every hour thereof after.
Oh, so you don't do per image, you charge for your time.
No, I do not do per image. I would tell you how much images you're getting. That's my thing. That's how I structure it. What I'm offering you is a product, so you can't
So you do
tell me.
$750 for 2 hours, that's what you're saying?
No, that was back then. That you asked me in the beginning. If you want to know now, I can tell you what now is.
Okay, no, ease me into it.
Right. So
No, ease me in, no, continue,
Right.
continue
So-
with the beginning and then you can.
So $750 was for, however, like the hour that I would have shot. Thing is, I shoot really friggin' fast. So like, I would shoot 3 outfits,
I mean, $750 for an hour is not
right? So I would,
bad.
but people used to pack in stuff.
How
So
many images you deliver?
that's what I'm saying. So people used to pack in stuff because I would shoot quickly. So let's say I had five looks. I could have done the 5 looks in that hour, and then it would have been 3 images per look. So that's 15. So then I only get $750 for 15 images.
Okay.
Which was not ideal for me. So I have now kind of restructured because of the more I guess freelance vibe. And back then I think I changed it, but I can't remember what it is. As I said, my brain broke, so there's a point in time where I don't really remember. Yeah, there's a literal gap where I know that was not my pricing for like the rest of the time. I just don't actually remember how much it was. But now, currently, if you want to hire me for a shoot, it is $800 for 6 images, 1 look, 1 location.
How long?
This doesn't matter how long I
No.
take to shoot, but it'll probably take like 20 minutes.
Okay.
One look, one location. How much? What is it?
800, 6 images.
60 images.
And then any image thereafter you can get for $100. So if I manage to shoot more than the 6 images and I show you like, hey, these are some nice images as well, you can get them for $100. But if there's a bulk and there's like repeats, you could get for $50 instead.
Okay.
So it really depends on like how it goes. But then I also able to do packages for people. So like for designers, example Willow and Oak recently, I had to do 40 images. I think like maybe every 2 months kind of vibe. It's kind of weird. She used to be, but only recently has started back shooting, so I can't say as yet. But when I used to shoot her, it was monthly. Yeah.
Okay.
And because I work with them since my inception of photography, they get a very, they get a discounted price. So if I shoot for mailing, I will just charge her the flat 800, and then I'll shoot how many looks she wants and give her how many images she wants, kind of thing. Once it's within a certain time. If she tells me she wants to do like a concept, then yeah, she 100%. So yeah, but I would do packages as well. And if it's bulk images, you also get
Thanks, but I gotta eat.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's like bulk images as well, you can manage to get like a discount. So like some designers, they would be like, I have 10 different looks, but I want 4 images in each.
Okay.
So I could like batch edit that, so it could be a lot cheaper in that way.
Okay.
Did batch edit just like confuffle you?
I haven't done that in so long.
Batch edit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing
I'll tell you.
specific things like
Okay.
Photoshop. Yeah.
I don't edit my much anymore.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
going like images to like order photos.
Copy.
Mhm.
But I don't even need to do that because
You don't have to. Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't opened Lightroom in
A hot minute.
a long time. Anytime I open Lightroom is because the Photoshop and Lightroom icons are right next to each other.
Right.
Oops.
Oopsies.
So I'm like, oops, now I gotta wait.
Okay. And the big question:
Wait, what's the big question?
what you can get?
Oh,
For-
I mean,
yeah.
you could just ask us.
Okay.
Seems like, well,
Yeah. What can you buy for
no,
the?
you don't have to ask. I'm just saying, just ask like. So we normally ask people like, what has been like the biggest one-time payment
Yeah.
that you've just gotten from a shoot? Jeez, she has to think really hard. Her thinking face is
What is that? What would have that been? That is not even a real sentence that I just said. I just said words and I didn't even understand it. I genuinely don't know.
was the one that you could remember. It doesn't have to be
It doesn't have
the biggest one that you could remember. It doesn't have to be like a.
Right off the top of my head would have been 3,500, but like that's all I could think of right now.
But do you feel like there was one bigger?
Yeah, but I can't remember which one it is. It would have
Were
been
you
like a
thinking, like a lot
concept.
bigger or like a.
Maybe a few thousand more, but like it was a concept, but I can't remember what it was. It never came out either. I got
Was
paid
that-
for it and never came out. The shoot.
Oh.
I got paid
yeah?
for a really big shoot, yeah, and it never came out.
Have you ever been international to do a shoot?
All these designers are usually international, so I get printed in like magazines abroad. So I get my work is
No, meaning
published.
have you been flown out to another country
Oh
to do
no,
a shoot?
I've never
Because I
tried
know
to.
stylists that always like fly in and out, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even. How do you even do that?
People
and I
just
know
see your work and they
photographers-
ask you, but
I see
usually
photographers
yeah.
too, like just like Tariq.
Oh yeah,
He just like left, and I was like, oh, okay, well you're in the States, you know
Yeah.
him, right?
yeah, that's my
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. I don't message him like that, but I just I talk
That's
like
my
I know
boy.
him.
He's great. He's a
I
very,
just,
very,
like,
very
left.
cool guy.
But I think he has. I feel like he has a lot going on too.
Also, like weddings get you a lot of money,
Yes.
especially jobs abroad as well. But
Weddings-
most of the jobs that I've done
I see
abroad
wedding
were
in-
shot here because they wanted the look
The
of
island vibe.
Trinidad. Yeah, no, well, I mean, I wouldn't say my looks are very
So
particularly
is it that they send
island
stuff
vibe.
for you to shoot?
Yeah, they would be like,
Okay.
"Hey, this is the concept I want."
Oh, well, that's like what happened
That's
to
what it
me.
is. It was a magazine that I shot for. Can't remember the name, but that's the big shoot. That's a big shoot I think that I did, and it had a few designers in it, and because I'm so
What did you
my
buy?
photography.
particular.
Do you
Yeah.
spend your money like after, like when you?
I don't know what I spent it on though.
Oh, because I was gonna ask, what do you think you spent it
I
on?
don't. As I
'Cause if
said,
you knew what you
there's a
spent it
gap in my
on-
brain where I have no memory of things.
If you knew what you spent it on, I could like gauge how much you probably made from the thing. from
Oh,
the
I wouldn't
shoot.
blow everything on one thing.
Oh, I could.
I wouldn't.
Do you do the thing where you like, where you think about where the money could go before it actually hits your account? I feel like that's a thing with everyone. I don't know if it's just me.
Okay, so something
My
can be covered.
iMac?
No, meaning like someone messages you about a shoot, right?
Hmm.
And they tell you like, okay, this is the pricing or whatever, and you're thinking about how you could spend the money before the money is actually in your bank account. Because I'm like, okay, I could buy a little shoe, you know. The money not even in my bank account. I'm like, I could buy a little shoe
I
once this
feel
money
like-
hit today.
I feel like I'm like in this very adult stage of life where I'm just like, well, I know I could pay my rent this month. I mean, I could pay my rent every month, but it's like a kind of like,
Secure.
yeah, it's like I was like, I could pay my rent and I could pay any bills that I need to. If my car fucks up, if my car messes up,
Don't worry, you're not the first person.
if my car messes up, it's
The
fine.
opportunity went
Blown out to the
about
window.
seven days ago. I was
Yeah,
blown out.
I'm not
Way
very.
out.
I don't think I think about it too much. I'm more of like, oh, this could go into my savings because
Okay.
I'm like in a place where I'm like, I would like to have like a different space to live. I want to get another car. I want to like invest in some other things. I want to like get more stuff on my computer because I'll also be like investing in music equipment and stuff like that. So it's like, sure, maybe I do kind of think of it, but it's always like savings first, and then whenever I know I could afford it is when I will
Okay.
put that money towards the investment.
Did you get the big boy iMac or did you get the base? Because
No, I got the big boy.
oh, yeah, the big boy.
Well, it makes more sense if I have to do photography and music on it
When I say big boy, I mean like with storage and
with
stuff.
storage and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes sense. You know
I
how
got
wave
a-
file is? Our wave file is different, you know. These come out to like gigs.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt.
And then it compresses to like 2 something.
Even for church, when I editing for church, Michael would be like, "Yeah, how much gigs?
Oh
How
my
much gigs
god,
we talking about?"
church. That's a thing. Sorry. I had a moment. I just remember church is a thing.
Oh right.
Oh, you forgot it exists?
Yeah, for a hot minute.
That's okay.
But then my mom did remind me today because apparently some people are resisting the vaccine because they believe in God.
Hey, well, segregation when I start just now, you know. So.
I saying start the party.
Yeah.
That's a whole topic for off
I
air.
just want a
Hey.
beach.
You what?
I just want a beach.
Well, you could go and put your foot on the sand, but
No,
you
I
can't go in
can't.
the water.
You'll get arrested.
To go on the sand?
Mm-hmm. You
I
could
thought
get
you were-
arrested for that. I
Someone
know
told me
2
you could-
people who've gotten arrested for standing close to the beach. They weren't even on the sand. They were parked on the side.
People doing hikes.
Oh, but Bacon Shark is like on the beach, though.
Well, it's on one side of the beach. It's not like on the on
Yeah,
like
but
the
it's
other
still like
side.
right there.
You could still get arrested. If
still,
the
like-
police see you on the other side of it, they could still arrest you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's real wild.
Because I see.
crazy thing.
Let me keep my mouth shut. All right.
Man,
That's
don't
a different
speak too
topic.
much.
Another podcast.
Remember, guys, that's civilian now, so you have no power. That was like the big thing. Photography. Oh, you.
Yes. Have you ever had like a problematic client where it's like, oh, I'm never going back? If you could offer me whatever, never ever again.
No, because I kind of vet them before I take them on. Like I genuinely like pick up on their vibes. I'd be like, "Oh, what you into? What is that?" And I try to smalls them to a certain extent to understand if I would vibe with them. Because a big thing for me is that if I don't vibe with my clients and my client doesn't vibe with me, those photos are gonna look like crap. Because you could see the unease in their face and you will see my lack of effort in the actual image.
I was telling someone.
I think that's what it is. With some photographers, it's just like
They don't
oh,
vibe.
I just
Yeah.
gain it, like I'm getting some money,
Right, yeah.
and you can see it.
And
in
I
the
mean, it's
photos.
okay because some people need that stability and they need the money. And like, I get that taking a job is important, but it's just not for me.
I get that too, but I'm like, I'll be honest, I would rather have less money, even though I might need the money, right? I would rather have less
Then pod should work.
than to put out something where I'm like, I'm not really fully comfortable. Like I told Damien and Saf, I think one time, I was like, I've told people no before and I've like referred them to other people because I was like, yo, I'm not really vibing with them like that. They want a completely different style to what I want, and I'm like, I could already feel that it's gonna be stress. So,
Ambient lighting.
so I'm like, why am I gonna stress myself out?
Yeah,
To collect
I don't really think I
some
have
small
like.
money.
I've had models that I don't particularly like I didn't have fun with. I'm calling them models because that's what you call people in front of the camera, right?
Yeah.
But I've had models.
Everyone is a model.
You know, that I didn't particularly like care to shoot, and it was difficult to shoot. But yeah, but it's not like I didn't like them and like I regret doing it. I'd just be like, next time you'll do better, kind of vibe. Yeah.
I think I just had one experience, and that was with Michael on the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think you would know, but I just had So we just had to pick up the model, and it was like a whole mix up with picking up the model where she was, and then also dropping her home. We were like, do we drop you off where we picked you up? And then she was like, yeah. So we did like a drive. We were on, is that the Lady Young? I think it's the Lady Young to go Sour.
Yes, Lady Young goes into.
That's the hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the Lady Young, and she was like, oh, where you going? To drop your home.
Mhm.
No, I said so in town. So you wait until we reach the Lady Young to then say that you have to go back in town? After we came from
Tom?
Marval?
Oh my god.
That make sense?
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, Cap. So I was like, oh, okay. And then when we dropped her off, Michael, who was there, who was like the main guy, he was like, yeah, I never shooting with her again. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't get you wrong, because
damn.
that was real stress. And
Yeah.
the other model was in the car, so she was like, yeah, why was that so confusing? I was like, I don't even know. I just felt like it was so simple.
Mm-hmm.
We dropping you off, or we picked you up? Yeah. Why would we have to be so far? Like, why would we go there,
Yeah.
come back to drop you? I was like,
People
you know
are
what?
strange.
Yeah.
People are strange.
How do you feel about people undercutting the market? Let's get into some let's talk the things. You don't know where that's
I
from?
guess it doesn't really affect me.
It doesn't? No, but it's just
I
like,
don't-
what do you feel about it? And
I
do
mean,
you
it
feel like
used
you
to
did
happen.
at one point?
Sorry?
Do you feel like you did at one point? What do you mean? If the going rate for a shoot is 800, you charging 400 for 50 to 100 images. Make it make sense.
I have always been somebody that would say quality and what you want is important, and if it is that somebody is offering you what you want for a cheaper price, go for it. If it is I'm too expensive, somebody else is within my budget, it's fine. But I think with the oversaturation of the market, why do I say it like that? The oversaturation of the market. Sorry?
Do you think that there is an oversaturation?
I believe so.
100%.
I believe so. Well, me personally.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like everybody and their grandfather is a photographer, videographer, or a model. And I'm just here like, oh yeah, give me a break.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of odd.
I think everyone is a content creator at this point.
I don't. Well, at least for me, that's just my thinking. I don't think so, because I feel like for me,
Then
If
why aren't you
I-
getting more jobs?
huh?
You're gonna say like, why ain't getting more jobs, boy?
No, it was.
Because there is an oversaturation. If there was a high demand for you, you would get more jobs because your work is good. It's not that your
Yeah,
work
but I
isn't
don't
good.
market it. I don't market it
You
well.
don't. Do I market it? How much times I will post on
But
jail?
you've been around for a long time.
Yeah, but did I market it when I came back out? No, but when I came back out, I posted one photo and said, "Hey guys,"
Or did you? I don't know when
and
you
I got
stopped.
30 likes. Exactly,
I
you
didn't know
didn't
you
see it.
stopped.
I got 30 likes on that
No, but
photo.
I didn't know you stopped, so that was the thing. I thought you were always shooting.
No, because you follow me on my personal profile, so you'd have seen me active. But people who don't know me as like a personal person, they wouldn't have known. It is.
Or you
It's
talking about on your photography page?
yeah, I don't
Oh.
post often.
Oh.
My
Okay,
my
I'm
private
thinking
page is on my photography page. You
all
see
I-
the photos I be posting on my private page.
All I know you for is for your personal stuff. So I was like, oh well.
No, I mean my personal stuff is like fine
No,
as
but
well.
you also post BTS stuff too. So I thought I was like, oh, well, she's always shooting. She just probably forgot to do BTS for however long. I was like, oh well, then.
No, I.
So then when
I
you post it again, I was like, oh, she's back and she's doing her thing. And I was like,
no. There's an oversaturation and it's in itself, and yes, people do undercut the market. I do see it. Like even when I was like shooting at night, there are no dogs around here. Those
I don't think you
Okay.
hit them.
Yeah, so I think there is a lot of undercutting. I experienced it even within my styling and direction, where
Yeah.
I would have charged my $750 and somebody was charging $300 instead. And they were like, well, we chose her because she was cheaper. And then I saw the product and I was like, are you happy with it? They said no. And I said, well, now you know why. You chose to go with 300 rather than going with the 750. And that's fine. That was your choice. That was your prerogative. But you can't complain now. That
Yeah.
was your choice at the end of the day. And if you want better, you know where to find it. And usually it does find you. And that's all I really ever stuck by. I stuck by the fact that that's my style, this is my quality of work, and
So you
who
don't
wants
market
it,
at
they
all.
will. Exactly.
So you don't market at all.
I'd never done an ad.
It's just
Everything
like
is referrals,
referrals?
yeah.
And then how did
On
you?
my face. Like, I don't know, a lot of people I realized hire me off of my personality as well, which is always a kind of
Because you post
weird
yourself a lot,
trip
right?
for me. I don't know if I was there to post myself a lot. I think I just kind of post whatever I feel like posting. Because I would
Yeah.
like not post on Instagram for like 3 days straight, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, guys, look at this song, and then go away again.
Or I
you
would
know?
not post anything. I'll just be like, foot. That's it.
Yeah, like I don't know.
talk.
Like,
I don't think I've ever recorded. Can't remember the last time I've recorded a
it
video
helps though.
and
Like,
talked. I know it
people-
does. I just don't do them.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Because I've
And
gotten
I
a lot of
don't-
shoots off of that.
I haven't done shoots with like high profile people in a way where it's like
Right.
they could see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I could kind of tell you where the issues lie.
Right. You just
Right?
don't want to fix them.
This is not an intervention. This is.
Don't worry, I feel like I am an intervention too, because if you ain't doing nothing, then what am I doing?
Well, we have the thing, and that's it. So other than that, we eating scraps.
We.
But no, I know it's definitely marketing, putting yourself out there, record more videos. That people see your face more, and I just don't do those things.
And that's what like I don't feel comfortable. Like I've told them I don't feel comfortable. I cannot hold my phone in front of my face
Mm-hmm.
and say, all right, so this is what I'm doing, or this is what's going on. I've never done that on my Instagram at all.
Right.
Like, this is the most my Instagram has seen of my face. That is it. Look, that is
Right.
I
So because I didn't have models to my disposal in the beginning, I used to do a lot of self-portraiture. And that's kind of what got me some headway in the beginning, my
Yeah.
self-portraiture, and then I just would just transfer it onto models and stuff like that.
okay.
And then, but I've always been a very ridiculous person. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my stories, even if I'm talking to the camera, I'm like zooming in and out. I'm putting on like stupid filters or beards, or like my eyes are bigger than my mouth, or my mouth is bigger than my eyes. Like, I have no nose, like things like that, because that's just how I feel comfortable talking. Like, I can't do the influence and be like, hi guys, so today I am shooting blah blah blah. Like, I can't do it. I'll be like, so I was shooting film today, yeah? And if you see this girl, she's real nice, you know. Like, that's how I talk, because that's my personality.
Very
And
often.
because of that, I have gotten a lot of jobs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of it comes from my personality. People say, oh, I like how you shoot. Like, I would feel comfortable around you, and I feel like I could do the concept that I want, because other people might make me feel weird because I'm not a model or I'm not this. And like,
Yeah.
it's whatever. You have a pretty face. It's fine. Photoshop exists. You know, so it's like,
Yeah. I
that
get you.
helps. So maybe in that way I marketed myself more than my work. But people will be like, oh, this is a cool person. Oh, and she's a photographer. Maybe I can hire her to do this thing.
Mhm.
So maybe that's a little bit of it too. And I guess as well, the other thing that I do, I try to keep bodies as natural as they can. I try to keep people looking as much as they look in real life.
Yes.
And people enjoy that as well.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Because some.
So-
Some
Don't
women
go
are-
don't go
no,
too deep in
no,
that.
no.
Don't go
No,
don't
but
don't
someone
don't take
asked
yourself in a
me,
hole.
They was like, no, they were like, you could Photoshop X, Y, and Z. I'm like,
I can, but do I want to?
can, but that's not my style.
Yeah.
Look at my Instagram.
Yeah.
That's my style. I like colors. And yeah, I mean, I would take off a little blemish on your face.
Yeah, that's about it.
But
Mhm.
I'm not gonna make you look like a whole different person. Sorry.
Yeah.
Some people might. But
And that's
not
fine.
my
That's
thing.
a style within itself, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just not my style. And that's all it is.
Any other thoughts, Sid?
Oh my god, excuse me. You just got a belch on mic. He's gonna kiss it.
I wasn't going to, but then you said it, and I heard it, and I was like,
You
"Ah,
just
they're
had to.
committed now."
Give it some love.
Do people comment on your teeth?
All the
This
time.
is just.
All the time. They
they're
either tell me
huge.
it's really big, it's really straight,
I'm gonna be
it's
honest.
really white.
At one point, I was like watching your stories. I didn't know what you were saying. I was just watching your teeth.
Some people tell me that too.
I was like,
but I get
I would,
really
like-
creepy messages as
I
well.
went-
Like, I don't even get bullied for
I
it.
just
Like,
feel
I
like
used to get
not
bullied
talking
for
about it before and just bringing it up in person now is the best time.
No, it's fine. Like, I
I'm
used
just
to
like,
get
wow, her
bullied
teeth
for it.
are.
But now,
huge.
like, men say some
But they look
really
good.
weird stuff in my, like, DM
Oh
requests.
yeah, what the DMs looking like?
No, like, I remember, like, at one point, as you said, I was talking, and it was just very focused on my face. And I was smiling while talking, so my teeth were, like, very there. And my teeth are big, they're white, and they're just there, right?
Uh-huh.
And these men were like, there was like, I couldn't focus on what you were saying. Your teeth are so nice. I just want to lick them.
Oh, hold up.
There's like, hi, can I steal your teeth? They're perfect. And I'm just like,
Pull up the handbrake.
they're like, oh my god, your teeth are so cool. Bite me. I'm like, what are you saying to me? Men are weird sometimes, bro. But like I'm accustomed to it. Like I'm aware that I have teeth that's too big for my mouth.
That one threw me off.
That's why if you watch my profile, I have no smiling pics.
That one-
Also, for the first time, the ice in the Starbucks cup melted before I finished the drink.
I don't.
No, like if Scotty listens to this, if Scotty knows, no, I'm saying no because I'm continuing the story. If Scotty listens to it, he said that the ice is made out of plastic because they don't melt. Now
Oh.
he has to explain the son.
I don't buy Starbucks.
Me neither. I would buy from like a local coffee shop, but you don't have one close by.
There is a rituals on the opposite side.
Oh, that's just sugar. I can't do it.
I haven't
It's too
drank rituals
sugary.
I haven't drunk rituals since the pandemic.
Dun dun
Nice.
dun. I've needed coffee since the pandemic, so.
I haven't drunk rituals since 2019. That's crazy.
Wait, you have another drink? What was that?
It's water.
Oh, you have to flush out the system with
A liter of water. I drink a day.
What kind of water is that?
It looks hella bougie. The plastic looking hell.
Alkaline
True.
mineralized H2O.
I can see right through that
pH 8.1. It's actually local, by the way.
bottle.
It's made in Central. It's bottled by Skywater Industries, non-spawn.
Okay. I
I
was.
was like, okay, yeah.
I mean, water is
I
water for me.
discovered
I
them
don't.
yesterday. Not yesterday, well, this weekend.
What she said? What did you say?
She found them this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, I found them very recently, but I like the bottle.
allow us some free promo. You could check them out. Sky Water.
I think they're in Cozy Market
Well,
I don't know what that is.
in Orangus.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Oh wow, where you from? Well, I mean, where you from?
You really want to know?
Not really, but I mean, it makes sense to ask.
Gonzales, Pity Valley, St. James, Chaguanas, San Fernando, Woodbrook, Belmont.
Do you reside in Horcruxes or something? Why do you live in so many places?
No, that's just where I'm from. I just bounce around a lot. My
Well-
mother never stayed in a place for more than 2 years, I don't think.
Okay.
So we just moved a lot, and I was like, all right, that time
How
to
does
move.
that work for you
All
with
right,
work
let's
though?
go. Huh?
How does that affect you and work?
Well, I only just recently got this job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I got this job this year, like in May,
Okay.
around there.
Looking for anyone hiring?
It wasn't
Anyone
really-
hiring?
If I look at for anyone
You
hiring.
know anyone hiring?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was asking for a friend.
Your friend is him.
I'm aware how that works.
Asking for a friend. Your friend is me.
Yeah.
You threw me off.
You threw me off.
So you
Hey,
said you,
over there.
No, I said halved earlier, so
Oh, okay.
we're all allowed.
you've been working in a pharmacy for the year. That's where you reach.
No, but my actual question was meant to be
Oh
I guess
yeah.
your biggest learning lesson in your photography journey. See, when you ask them kind of questions, you just hit them hard, you know.
Huh.
You're thinking
Stop.
deep.
She stopped.
Look at how she posing. You
Have
see,
I
Ada?
have I learned any lessons really?
So when you had to change your pose?
Have
after
I
you ask
changed?
a
Oh, it went
question?
from this to this.
So when you had to,
My hand went from very awkwardly posed to actually normal person posed.
yeah, when you had to,
Get in it. I'm gonna get in it.
I can't really think of any lessons that I learned. I guess like just adapt. Because sun is weird and it moves around, so you just have to adapt to like. I don't know. I don't know anything about photography. I just take pictures.
okay.
That is my biggest lesson. I don't know anything about photography. I
Ah.
just take pictures.
You're good at business. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what
I
it is.
feel like once you're good at business, you could literally survive.
I also think
in
I'm
whatever
talented.
field.
I don't discredit myself. I think
No, I
I'm
understand that you're not
talented,
talented, but I'm saying
but I don't actually know anything else.
because
Like
you're
I know business and I have talent. Those two go together, but I don't know how.
no, but I think because
Magic right now.
your parents
Oh my god, I'm so warm. I'm
Have
gonna move
businesses
my
and
seat
stuff
because
like
it's too
that.
warm there and I'm so-
and you
mm.
grew up from you have like a business background from your
Yeah.
parents, it's like okay, I know how to implement this. You can
Yeah,
see your
yeah.
dad and mom doing things. It's like, oh, okay, this is how this works. You can ask them questions. My dad don't know anything. He only just no, that's not even like
Shout out to dad.
Broad.
Shout out to dad and his
no, he
knowledge.
listen, but that's okay. But I'm gonna follow it up with
Yeah,
he's doing his thing now and he's learning.
yeah.
So it's like, okay,
Growth and
my
you know.
younger brothers will know more.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the business pops off. I mean, he's been getting some stuff going, and me, I kind of have to figure it out for myself.
Right.
Because he is also learning while I am learning. I am still trying to figure out pricing to an extent.
What are your prices like?
The lowest I could think of is like 700 for something. I'll be honest, I can't think of it right now. Today was a long day.
All right, that's
But
fine.
the lowest I could think of is 700 for like, it was a look, one look, something. I don't know the specifics, but it's around that. But I'm trying to get more campaign type of stuff. I have one coming up with a lady for some hair products.
Yes.
That was a bag. That was a bag. That
That's
was
good.
I spoke about it before, so it's not like I spoke about it with Saf. Yeah, because I asked her what was her biggest client, and then she had asked me. Yes, because that's how long it's been planning. Because the products took so long to come here. TT Post does not call you. They
So it's
send
like
you
product
a letter.
photography.
No, it's a mix.
Okay.
So it's models. Well,
If that's one thing I can't do is product photography, I was just so bored.
it's not just products alone. It's
Yeah.
models, modeling the products. And she sent me like info pics, and I was like, okay, I could work with this.
That's nice.
And then sometimes it's like some of the images she doesn't even want the product as the
in it.
main thing. She just wants it like there in the background and visible. I was like, oh, well, I could work with this.
That's nice, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so that was total cost might be like 10 to 11,
Mhm.
and then what I would walk away with might be like 5 to 6.
Mhm.
Yeah, around there. Like after everyone paid, like I pay him.
Mhm.
I pay him well, apparently. Like I asked someone, and they were like, how much did you pay Jabari for shoots? Like to help you. I was like, I gave them a price. I was like,
What's your role in the shoot?
Assist.
whatever I need him for,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay, cool.
He's driver and assistant on the day.
Okay.
And
I was
anything
like-
else that he doesn't want.
At time I had given him like $500, and it was like the shoot wasn't even, I don't think, that long.
Mhm.
Something, and Damien asked about it, and he's like, how much do you pay Jabari? I was like, to be honest, like sometimes $400-500 seems like so much, and I'm like,
But people pay assistants really badly here.
I was like, okay.
Some of the bigger
does that-
shoots that
Does that mean I'm
you,
supposed to pay him less? Because I can
some
do
of the
it for
bigger
more
shoots
money.
that you see down here, they, that was after the podcast. But some of the bigger shoots, they definitely don't pay their assistants that well.
No, I try to get people paid as the thing. Like,
Me too.
If I know that everyone is not going to be paid decently,
Yeah.
nah, I good.
That,
That's well,
the model, the male model.
yeah, he off. He is so off. I asked this guy. I was trying to figure out going rates for models, right?
Right.
And I think it was like someone had told me like 600 to 800 for the day.
Right. For
And
the
I was
entire
like,
day.
Well, yeah, because I needed them for like
Yeah, that's fine.
5
Yeah.
to 6 hours, which
Mhm.
is
Oh, that's a
I'll
lot.
call it the entire day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a working day, so.
the girl had given me like 6 or 7, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So I asked that guy after, because I was like, I wanted to figure out that she was okay to shoot with. I didn't want to ask the guy to then have to ask the girl after and see if if they're not cool. So I said, okay, I asked her, and I was like, who do you recommend for me to shoot with you? And she
Right.
recommended a guy. My guy told me like 2,000 something. I'm like, hell no.
Was he like well known or something?
Nobody knows this guy from anywhere.
Oh, well, then he's
Like
just kind of
I asked
delusional,
about him
maybe.
too. Like I asked all my model friends immediately. I was like, what is the going rate?
It's
Do you
not
know
that-
this guy? And they were
Yeah.
like, no.
And no.
And this is real money.
Yeah.
No. And I was like, yeah, he real off. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of dead for you. So I found some other people. I ended up raising the girl's rate for the day. Because I was like, yes, I want money, but I wanted to make sure that she was okay with everything. And the scope of the project was the images are going to be used for some advertising something. So I raised her price as well. And yeah, but that was ridiculous. And I would not feel good paying her like $600
Yeah.
and paying him $2,000 and being like, oh yeah, you'll go about your day. Like that would just not sit well in my soul. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. I can't think of the guy right now, else I would have said it off. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm trying to think.
I know who it is. It's probably there in my DMs because I still have.
paid.
You what?
Sorry, I think I just got paid.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But I also have to like get paid from somebody else.
The girl eating good tonight.
No, because I think I still have those raw pictures.
Are you good at saving?
Sorry?
Are you good at saving?
I've become good at saving. Living on your own makes you save.
True.
Yeah, so I've become.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I've become good at
Boy.
saving.
I'm telling you, once that money hit the account, my first thing is rent, internet.
Maybe I could scrape the eating. Maybe I can scrape the eating together.
Maybe I could eat a little plant today, and just call that.
Maybe
But yeah.
I might buy me something.
I think that's it. You have any
I have no
any closing remarks from Auntie Jordan?
Closing remark.
Sounds like somebody died
No,
or
go
something
eat
like
soup.
that. Closing remarks.
Go eat soup.
Go eat soup?
Yeah.
I love soup on a Saturday and a Sunday for some reason.
Like broth or like.
What kind of soup though? Like
Little
thick
soups.
soup? Or like
Thick soup.
yeah, I like my soup thick.
I told my mom this. I was like, man, I need my
Don't be giving me my soup watery. That is
That.
you're just wasting time.
Sorry,
and
wait.
energy.
Did you just say don't make your soup watery?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, don't make it. I want to feel full.
No, like I told my mom.
Oh, you mean like the consistency?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I told my mom.
Oh, what were you thinking?
No, I was just like, well, wouldn't it need to have liquid?
No, nah. I
So like
want
ramen
thick.
is kind of like in a way water, like traditional ramen, not like just from the pack ramen, but like traditional ramen is in a
Yeah,
way
it's
kind of
just
water, like
water,
Chinese, like
noodles
wonton
Yeah,
soup.
not like that.
Swimming around in water.
Not like that.
Yeah, so like you don't like that.
Nah, I like
Okay,
it.
cool.
I like it thick. I want to feel like
Sunday, mommy cooked soup and she was like, yo, my thin it down. I was like, thin it down where?
people always talk about us going off topic a lot,
Nah, well, deal
and
with
I
it. Is that trend?
I had fun. This was fun.
This was fun.
Y'all
have a
check
whole
out
adventure
Jordan. What?
You have a whole adventure going back home.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going home, but we'll figure it out. We always figure it out.
How did you get here?
My dad, but he has my little brothers. I don't live with him, so he has to take care of them,
This is
and he has to
getting
go
very
and collect
personal.
them. No, it's not. It's like
You really
It's-
just don't know how you get home.
no, it's general
Right,
information.
yeah.
But I could find my way home. I have some hours, but yeah, this was fun. Y'all check out Jordan. Jordan, plug your Instagram, whichever
J-
one you want.
It's just
I can't think of it right now.
it's just
You
I mean it's my
We will
personal
link
yeah
She's
yeah,
panicking.
yeah
and,
there's many a page.
we will link all of them and the Twitters.
Oh gosh, no, don't link my Twitter.
Oh, okay. But that's what the fun is.
No, yeah, truly.
Yeah,
Truly.
yeah, for
I
sure.
just, yeah.
That's why I asked Will about his Twitter, because I know that would have been.
Controversial.
Okay, don't do this. Don't say that.
I'm just like no, my Twitter is not, no.
Okay, well, let me.
To be, I don't, have I
We'll
ever
link the
gotten a shoot from
Instagram,
Twitter?
the filtered content, and if you
No,
want to
everybody on
look
Twitter
up
think
on
I'm too
Twitter,
expensive.
if you want to look up on Twitter, then you could find out.
If you
probably
care
very
for my
easily.
ramblings and screaming to the void, sure.
Yeah, but I think that's it for this episode. I had fun.
Go eat soup.
Go eat soup. We'll see y'all next week with somebody new, hopefully.